the mark of the beast. When will it be set up? And how will it be set up? What will be the primary mover to set up the mark of the beast, to set up the beast power system, this false religio-political system that will come into all the world? How will that be set up? And does the second coming false Christ come before this is set up or after it is set up? All we have to do is carefully read the event that's being described in Revelation 13, starting from verse 11 onwards. And so let's read it carefully and really see, in terms of this chronology of this event, what takes place and then what precedes it. Revelation 13 verse 11 says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth." Another beast. The previous beast came up out of the sea. That is the old world. But you have another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. 2 horns like a lamb. This is a professedly Christian nation that rises up from the earth. If the beast before it that rose up out of the sea represents the old world, then this beast that's coming from the earth that has characteristics of a Christian nation is the new world, specifically embodied in the United States of America, which says in its Constitution and in its Declaration of Independence that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So it's a professedly Christian nation that rises up from the earth. The New World Order really is the United States of America rising. You can read on the American dollar bill, it says it has an Illuminati pyramid, and it says New Order of the Ages. And so America really is the New World Order. It is the New World and it's the New World Order. But it's processing at the moment. And when the New World Order rises, this system in America will set up itself to be a world leader. But it continues. It had 2 horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. So this is the dragon element that allows the New World Order to happen. 2 horns like a lamb, Christian nation, speaks as a dragon. Now the dragon is Satan. The dragon is that old serpent called the devil and Satan, as the Bible describes it. In the Garden of Eden, you had the serpent. And so this serpent, this dragon that speaks in the New World Order is Satan speaking, which gives us a clear chronology that the New World Order American system is being set up and Satan comes on the scene. It says in verse 12, "And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed." So the old world, right? That's the colonial world powers that existed prior to the formation of the United States of America. That is the church-state partnerships that existed. Specifically, the Catholic Church-state partnership that existed in mainland Europe, which then spread to much of the world through colonialism. whether it's Spanish colonialism, whether it's Portuguese colonialism, whether it's French colonialism, this Catholic church-state partners spread through all the world, and in 1798 it came to an end. But it will resurrect again, because you see here it says he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them that dwell therein, and all that dwell therein, to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. So this old world power will emerge again. Its wound is going to be healed. And how is it healed? Well, verse 13 has the answer. And he, speaking of the Lamb and the dragon, and he doth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword, and did live. So it's very clear in this chronology that the dragon, the lamb-like dragon, or in other words, a false Christian impersonator, will come on the scene pretending to be Jesus Christ, will do miracles, and the world, or the earth, the people on the earth, will follow and do what this false Christ is saying, because he causes fire to come down from heaven. And once that fire comes down from heaven, then the events in verse 15 and all the way to verse 18 happen. So it says in verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So there is a death decree that comes into effect. If this false Christ dragon emerges on the scene, causes fire to come down from heaven to the earth, causes people to then follow after this, he then sets up a false system of worship and demands people to follow this false system of worship, or they'll be killed. And if you still don't comply, it says that there'll be no buying and selling. And finally, at the end of the chapter, it says that the 666 mark of the beast emerges. Friends, the chronology there is absolutely clear. This lamb-like beast that really is a dragon comes onto the world scene as part of this new world order, new order of the ages, and does miracles to try the earth, to tell people that dwell on the earth that they should make a false system of worship. Now, the United States is very clear in its legal documents that it refers to we the people. So it's a constitutional system, which means that power comes from the people, then deciding who gets elected, then and then power works its way up to the top, right? But the people have the rights in the United States of America. It's not top down like in other nations where the leader has all the rights, and everyone that's close to the leader, the closer you are to the leader, the more rights you have. In America, it's very different. The people, so we the people, right? they are the ones who have, to a large extent, a lot of power, a lot of rights. They will essentially, this false Jesus Christ will do miracles to convince the people that they should set up a false system of worship. It reminds you of Moses when he went up on the mountain, comes back down, and the people have set up this image to the image of a beast, which was the golden calf, and Aaron allowed it to happen. In fact, he encouraged it. And so that was a great blunder. And so this false Christ will emerge to beckon people to set up a false system of worship. It's going to happen in the United States of America. It's going to happen in the New World. There'll be no buying and selling after that. And it will be truly magnificent, a truly magnificent time. We have to get right with God now. We have to get right with God to such an extent that we aren't deceived by lying signs and wonders. The Bible says that sometimes God will allow false prophets to do lying signs and wonders to test our faith. And then the false prophet will say, let's worship other gods, which is what this false prophet does in Revelation 13, this false Christ. He says, let's worship the beast, let's worship the image, let's worship the false universal, Catholic universal, new one world religion system that's emerging. That's what we're in for. That's what you're in for. And it's really important to get the chronology right and to understand what's going to happen. And that's all I have to say. Thank you and God bless.